There's a moment every man remembers, the moment he realizes wanting her more only pushed her further away. And if you felt that line hit somewhere deep, that's because every man who has ever chased a woman who didn't feel the same knows that sick, heavy ache in his stomach, the one that whispers, "Maybe I'm just not enough." I'm here, as a female psychologist, to tell you the truth you were never taught. Attraction isn't about convincing a woman to want you. Attraction is about becoming the man she can't ignore, even if she tried. Most men think showing more interest will create interest. They think being overly available proves loyalty. They think proving their intentions will make her feel safe. But here's the psychological twist. The more you try to earn a woman's desire, the more you communicate that you don't believe you deserve her desire in the first place. Women don't respond to pressure or pursuit. They respond to presence, certainty, and emotional gravity. Gravity doesn't chase, gravity pulls. So let me tell you what actually creates that invisible pull, even for a woman who seems uninterested. It begins with the energy you carry before you even speak. Women read emotional energy faster than logic. They sense insecurity the way a dog senses fear, not because they want to reject you, but because insecurity signals instability. And no woman, no matter how sweet, wants to step into instability. But here's the empowering part. Desire isn't born from being flawless. It's born from being grounded, calm, purpose-driven. A woman is drawn to a man who has something within him she didn't create, because it means he won't crumble if she pulls away. That inner stability is the foundation of attraction. Let me give you a truth most men never hear. If she's not interested now, it's not a verdict on your worth. It's a reflection of the energy you're projecting. When a man radiates a life he enjoys, a direction he follows, and standards he lives by, he becomes the type of man women feel drawn to, naturally, effortlessly, almost involuntarily. And that is why the shift begins with you, not with trying to impress her, not with rehearsing lines, not with studying tricks. When your identity becomes stronger than your desire for validation, something changes. Women feel it. They sense it before you speak. They lean in before you ask. They become curious before you even express interest. You do not become attractive to a woman. You become attractive as a man. Once that happens, her interest becomes a reaction, not a reward. If you're ready, the next section will show you exactly how to build this magnetic presence step by step, without manipulation, without games, and without pretending to be someone you're not. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, have you ever liked a woman who didn't seem to notice you? What happened? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Most men never realize this, but a woman decides how to respond to you long before she analyzes your looks, your job, or your status. She responds to the emotional signal you send the moment you enter her space. And the truth is, most men broadcast the same signal without even knowing it. I hope you like me. But hope is not attractive. Certainty is. A woman becomes drawn to a man who carries himself as if he already knows who he is, regardless of who she is. When you walk into a room with a quiet, grounded confidence, not arrogance, not loudness, simply a calm certainty, you shift from being another man seeking approval to being a man who sets the emotional tone, and women notice men who set the tone. Here's the psychology behind it. Human attraction is built on something called emotional leadership. It means your presence regulates the emotional energy of the moment. When you stay collected, she relaxes. When you hold yourself with purpose, she becomes curious. When you are unfazed by her reactions, she feels safe. Not because you're trying to make her feel safe, but because your energy naturally communicates stability. If a woman seems uninterested in you right now, it might not be because she doesn't like you. It may be because your energy asks for reassurance rather than giving direction. Women aren't drawn to men who chase their validation. They're drawn to men who feel complete enough to offer emotional direction. And here's the twist that most men never learn. Your attractiveness increases the moment you detach from the outcome. When a woman senses that you're not trying to win her, you become more interesting. When she realizes you have your own mission, your own life, your own center of gravity, she starts looking at you differently. Because men who aren't controlled by desire are the ones who inspire it. To build this kind of presence, start with the simplest shift. Carry yourself as if your worth is non-negotiable. Sit like a man comfortable in his own body. Speak like a man who respects his own time. Maintain eye contact not to impress, but because you're unafraid of being seen. Every small choice reinforces your identity. Your walk, your posture, your tone. Women pay attention to these things far more than you think. Remember something powerful. A woman will feel your mindset before she hears your words. You never need to convince her that you're valuable. You only need to embody the value you already have. When a man stops trying to get attraction and starts becoming the type of man who naturally creates it, everything changes. Interest grows where pressure disappears. Now tell me in the comments, what's one area of your presence you want to improve? Your confidence, your communication, or your emotional control? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs this truth. You do not become attractive to a woman. You become attractive as a man. Once that happens, her interest becomes a reaction, not a reward. If you're ready, the next section will show you exactly how to build this magnetic presence step by step, without manipulation, without games, and without pretending to be someone you're not. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, have you ever liked a woman who didn't seem to notice you? What happened? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. There's a shift that happens inside a woman the moment she realizes a man is no longer standing in front of her trying to impress her, but instead living from a place of authentic self-respect. This shift is subtle, powerful, and almost impossible for her to ignore. And here's the truth most men never hear. A woman's interest doesn't rise because you do more for her. It rises because you become more for yourself. Men often think attraction is built through effort, buying things, texting constantly, proving loyalty, constantly showing up. But a woman isn't drawn to effort. She's drawn to essence. And essence is the emotional signature you bring into every interaction. It's your standards, your boundaries, the way you carry yourself when no one is watching, the way you handle pressure, setbacks, silence, uncertainty. Women read these things instantly. If she's not interested in you yet, it may be because your energy tells her you're willing to abandon yourself just to get her attention. And that instantly kills attraction. Why? Because a man who abandons himself cannot protect, lead, or create a stable emotional environment. A woman may not consciously understand this, but her instincts do. So how do you build the kind of presence that reverses her disinterest? It begins with raising your internal value, not for her, but for you. Do you keep your word to yourself? Do you follow through on what you say you'll do? Do you allow people to cross boundaries because you're afraid to lose them? Every yes that should have been a no chips away at the attraction you're trying to create. Women are not attracted to perfection. They're attracted to men who take themselves seriously. There's something magnetic about a man who knows what he wants and refuses to apologize for it. A man who isn't hungry for attention but selective with his energy. A man who doesn't beg for time but values his own so deeply that others feel privileged to share it. Here's a psychological truth. A woman becomes more interested when she senses that your life would still be meaningful without her, not because you don't care, but because you don't collapse. And when you no longer collapse around her, she starts to relax around you. You don't make a woman want you by trying harder. You make a woman want you by becoming a man whose presence brings peace, clarity, and direction. When you embody this energy, she doesn't just feel drawn to you, she feels safe with you, curious about you, and emotionally pulled toward you without understanding why. Now I want to hear from you. What's the #1 boundary you struggle to enforce in relationships or dating? Drop it in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a man who needs to hear this message. You do not become attractive to a woman. You become attractive as a man. Once that happens, her interest becomes a reaction, not a reward. If you're ready, the next section will show you exactly how to build this magnetic presence step by step, without manipulation, without games, and without pretending to be someone you're not. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, have you ever liked a woman who didn't seem to notice you? What happened? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. There's a moment, quiet, almost sacred, when a woman suddenly realizes she's seeing you differently. The same man, the same face, the same voice, but something in your energy has shifted. And that shift isn't about being charming or handsome or smooth. It's about the rare, undeniable feeling that you are a man who no longer depends on her interest to feel valuable. That is the moment attraction is born. Even in a woman who once seemed uninterested, you have to understand something deeply. Women don't fall for men who chase them. Women fall for men they can feel. And what they feel most deeply is a man with emotional direction, someone who knows where his life is going and refuses to hand the steering wheel to desire, fear, or pressure. A man like that becomes unforgettable, not because he's perfect, but because he's consistent. Attraction grows in the space you create, not the pressure you apply. When you pull back, not in a manipulative way, but in a grounded way, you give her room to notice you. When you stop over-investing emotionally before she's reciprocated, you rebalance the dynamic. When you act from intention rather than impulse, she feels the difference instantly. Here's what women secretly respect: a man who moves with purpose, not desperation. A man who communicates interest, yes, but not obsession. A man who listens, but doesn't lose himself. A man who can express desire, but never abandons his pride. Women never forget men like that, because those men are rare. And here's the part most men misunderstand. You don't need to impress a woman to make her want you. You need to impress yourself. When you live in alignment with your goals, when your habits reflect ambition, when your choices reflect discipline, when your emotions are guided instead of scattered, you radiate a strength that makes her lean in without thinking. Women are drawn to that strength the same way people are drawn to warmth on a cold day. If she wasn't interested before, this is how you make her look again, with curiosity, with respect, with a sense of, what changed and why do I suddenly feel something? It's because she feels the difference between a man who is seeking approval and a man who is living in his truth. Attraction is not an accident, it's a response. And the moment you stop trying to win her and start winning yourself, she stops seeing you as an option and starts seeing you as a possibility. So hear this clearly. The most powerful way to make a woman want you is to become the kind of man who doesn't crumble when she doesn't. Strength is magnetic. Confidence is oxygen. Purpose is irresistible. When you embody those three things, any woman, even the one who once overlooked you, will feel the pull. Now tell me in the comments, what is the one quality you want to build in yourself starting today? Confidence, purpose, discipline, or emotional control? And make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend who needs to hear this right now. What's the #1 boundary you struggle to enforce in relationships or dating? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a man who needs to hear this message. You do not become attractive to a woman. You become attractive as a man. Once that happens, her interest becomes a reaction, not a reward. If you're ready, the next section will show you exactly how to build this magnetic presence step by step, without manipulation, without games, and without pretending to be someone you're not. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, have you ever liked a woman who didn't seem to notice you? What happened? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it.